Then the Rockies had a series against the San Diego Padres, and it was not good. As a matter of fact, they lost 21-0. I've never seen a 21-0 game. We've gotten our butt kicked. I think we had a game in Boston, even in 2003, the year we won it all, Coca, where we may have given up 16, 17 runs. We certainly had some games in Coors Field where we got absolutely crushed. 21-0 to me is a football score, and a football score that I don't believe has been a final football score, thank you, Jason Stark, ever. After that game, you assume that, wow, the Rockies, it's almost laughable now. They're giving up so many runs. They're not scoring. And it turns out that this could be historic. So you have some choices when you're the owner. One choice is to have your general manager go public and say, we're all good here. We understand that things are tough and bad, but we stand behind our manager. I don't like giving the manager the dreaded vote of confidence because what it means is we're about to fire the manager, so why do that to the general manager? Sometimes the general manager wants to give the vote of confidence because it's the GM who has to sit with the manager in the clubhouse before and after every game, travel with the manager. The manager knows things are bad, but doesn't want there to be any interpersonal issues, any sort of tension in the clubhouse. So you go public saying, hey, everything's great. Of course, it's up to the owner when the final decision is made. Make no mistake. Owners make decisions to fire managers and general managers. General managers say it's them very often, but it's always the owner. So the GM of the Rockies came out and said, I'm telling you, I see growth. Our guys are playing hard. That's what I'm looking at. He did an interview with the Denver Post. They're working hard. It's good. That's what you say when you're losing every game. We work hard. We play hard. We see a path to recovery. We see an opportunity to get better. There is belief, Ted Lasso, in what we're doing. I mean, there's Bill Schmidt talking. I assume he didn't realize that 24 hours later, the owner would make him look like a jack, A-double-S, and fire the manager. But that's exactly what happened. If you're Dick Monfort and you know that you're firing your manager, why do you allow your general manager to go public and talk about the way things are going? Because you've completely eunuched the general manager now by the statement that's been made by Dick Monfort. And it was not Dick Monfort and Bill Schmidt who did the statement. It was just Dick Monfort. Dick Monfort said, our play so far this season, especially coming off the last two seasons, has been unacceptable. Let me stop you there. When you're doing a statement about your manager, you don't need to talk about what happened, anything other than this current season, because obviously that's the reason for a firing. Even if you've had 2 bad seasons in a row or 4 to 5, if your current season is good, you're not firing the manager. If you've had 4 great seasons in a row and you were supposed to be great again and you stink and you fire the manager, it has nothing to do with the fact that you were great. It has to do with you stink this year. So these firings happen because you're not good now. So you don't need to say, especially coming off the last 2 seasons. Now, why do we have to do something? An owner says, our fans deserve better. Puts a tear in my eye, putting the fans first, knowing that Bud Black was fired this weekend because you, fans in Denver, you, Javier Soto, you deserve more. You deserve better play. Then, what owners like to do. While we all share responsibility in how this season is played out, these changes are necessary. Amen. That is my kind of owner saying, yeah, just so you know, I feel badly too, but of course I'm not going to get fired because I own the team. So it's easy for me to say that I share responsibility because it makes me look good to you, doesn't it? Aren't you looking at this statement and saying, oh, Dick Monfort gets it. He's sharing responsibility. Things are looking up at the mile high. Then we know what's going to happen through the dog days of summer because Dick Monfort told us We will use the remainder of 2025, I'm quoting, to improve where we can on the field and to evaluate all areas of our operation. Quick side note for that. We do that every year. Not just this year, not just after you fire your manager, not because you're sharing responsibility and the results are unacceptable. Find me an organization who's not trying to improve on the field every day. Now, we may get a grievance filed against us because our payroll is low. We may not have the right players or evaluators to get better, but you can bet your sweet pips we are trying to get better. And then evaluating all areas of our operation. Hello, I'm sorry. Do you work for a company? Do you own a company? Are you an employee of a company? Do you know what your company's doing every single day? They're evaluating you and the operation every day. This is not a sports thing. This is a life thing. Frankly, it's a personal life thing. Aren't you always evaluating where things are, how you're feeling, what you're doing, whether you need to go full Barry Manilow? Looks like we made it. We're going back to Dick Monfort, what he was saying, that they're evaluating the operation. And I asked you whether you all evaluate your operation, which you do. Therefore, you don't have to say it. But Dick Monfort's statement ended the way all statements end because it's a template on your Word document. I want to thank Bud Black and Mike Redmond for their contributions to the organization across their 8 years here. I appreciate their hard work and dedication and wish them nothing but the best going forward. Phew. Well, hey, he forgot to wish the families the best. He forgot to say how great they've been in the community. But he did say they've contributed to the organization. I guess there was a little cutting for size and for time. And it's not like the Rockies haven't spent money. I mean, do you remember when they signed Chris Bryant? That was a huge deal for all of you people who were delusional about Chris Bryant's ability. They gave him that huge deal. He still has 3 years and $81 million left of that deal. And Chris Bryant is hurt, and when he's not hurt, he stinks. You all were thrilled when they signed Ryan McMahon and Kyle Freeland and gave extensions when they signed Tovar through 2031. Their payroll is the 20th in baseball, not too shabby at $125 million. So do you not think that when they've got the worst starting pitching ERA in MLB, and it's Colorado, humidor or not, and you know that you need to have a good offense, but your offense stinks. Literally, there's only the Pirates and the White Sox are worse in all of baseball. So you know in Colorado, you got to have Larry Walker. That's got to be your plan. Dante Bichette, it's got to be your plan. The Rockies are the single worst. Ooh, negative 2.4 WAR is very bad. That means the Rockies are worse than the Pirates and the White Sox, Coca. That means they're the 30th ranked offense in Colorado. Bill Schmidt's going to get canned, isn't he? You have to. Because at some point, it's not the manager. It's not Bud Black out there taking the at-bats. It's not Mike Redmond taking the at-bats. It's that woeful offense with overpaid Chris Bryant.